Welcome to yet another conversation on Sunny Side Up with your host and host, Sunita. My guest today is a multi talented woman. She's a budding entrepreneur, a social worker, a singer, a painter, but most notably, a caring mother and a single parent to her son, whom she has nurtured with immense care and love. Please welcome this feisty woman who has given this oft repeated cliche woman empowerment a true meaning by living every moment of her life. My friend for 25 years, Sudha Raj. Hi, Sudha. A very good afternoon. Thank you so much for giving me your Sunday. I know that you were booked, but then you kind of rescheduled your busy day. So, firstly, tell me, how do you like the name Sunny Side Up?
First of all, thank you so much for inviting me. And today being quite sunny and little windy and it's quite a nice afternoon to talk about this. Our life journey is quite, sounds very heavy though, but quite nice. And sunny side is quite a catchy term in the sense, yes, life is full of, lot of miseries, lot of happiness. And when you look up at, certain things, sun always rises up.
So basically, no rules here, Sudha. Just
Absolutely.
heart to heart conversation. And yeah, so basically, तुम्हारी life का अब तक का सफर is what we will cover today. And of course, I do have small segments. So let's see how our conversation goes. Yeah.
I can say, like, how my life journey has been. It's been a roller coaster ride, you know. It's a lot of ups, a lot of down, sad and happy. I think each and everyone goes through these phases of ups and downs and sadness and happiness. When you're sad, you try to recover yourself and get out of that mold. So ये part of life है जो कि ऊपर नीचे चलता रहता है. And I think each and every phase, I think you learn something out of it. How do you cope with it is absolutely what you are. I mean, the surrounding, the environment which you are in, a lot of things depends upon that. So starting up with, let's say, our childhood, it was a pretty normal childhood. We are two brothers and two sisters, and we have a normal school. We are totally Delhiites, born and brought up here. And we did our education in DTA school, which is a Delhi Tamil Education Association. We are a Tam Ram totally, and but totally born and brought up in Delhi. It's quite normal, nothing unusual about
So
our childhood.
very academic focused household.
Not very, yes, but yes, we've been, focused on our education in a sense. Because dad was like, education is a must. So, and that too, he was very particular about that we should be able to read and write a mother tongue. So we were in Nepal when my father was posted there. So we had a all English medium school in Nepal. And when we came back to India, so he ensured that, we must have uh, Tamil, which is our mother tongue, that he should be able to speak well, he should be able to write and read. So he made it must for us to. So aptly, we got into this DTA schools. We did a college again in Delhi only. I from Maitreyi College. So my sister went to Venkateshwara, my brother went to Daulatram. So another brother went to Atmaram Sanatan Dharma Tea College. So we were all Delhiite.
Spread across various colleges of Delhi.
Yes. Born and so literally, हमारे खून में दिल्ली दौड़ता है. Like Delhi is like, into our blood. Totally. खूब खेला हम लोगों ने, खूब पढ़ाई भी की. And we are also a sporting family. Like, we love sports. So we all used to play some kind of a sports at our schools and college level.
So हमारे टाइम पे क्या स्पोर्ट्स चलते थे यार, हम जो आपस में खेलते थे जब हम शाम को
नो इनफैक्ट हम लोग जब छोटे थे कम्युनिटी में थे आरकेपुरम में, इवनिंग में हम लोग नीचे आके पिट्ठू खेलते थे. Can you imagine? Pittu was something
very
which was
popular. Pittu was
very popular at that time. गुल्ली डंडा भी खेलते थे हम लोग. गुल्ली डंडा भी होती थी, पिट्टू तो जबरदस्त खेलते थे. Then we used to have frisbee. So these evening times in Sunday times were such a sporty time at that time. कोई बच्चा घर पे नहीं रहेगा. Everybody used to come down and used to play. So this part of the sport has always been part of us. So that way we've been sporting family. My maternal side, my mama and masis, they're all badminton champions in Madhya Pradesh.
Wow.
So they all used to play a lot. Cricket and badminton runs into a family. So everybody has represented the state level at some point of time in their life. So that been quite exciting, should I say.
Let me just pause you there and just share what kind of dreams that you were dreaming as a child. क्या बनना था? Was there ever any pressure कि इसके बाद अब मुझे ये करना है? घर में किस तरह का माहौल था? You know, what were the parents teaching you or were guiding you?
See, उस टाइम पे जब हम लोग ग्रो कर रहे थे, there were only two options. One is engineer or doctor.
Okay.
You know, either you become an engineer or you become a doctor. तो उस टाइम ज्यादा हमारे पास कोई ज्यादा ऑप्शंस नहीं थे. Passionate about I want to become a doctor. Like, you know, मेरे को डॉक्टर बनना था. तो I took up science. Supposed to be the elite of the groups, you know, science, commerce and arts. And सारे brainy बच्चे उसमें होते थे. साइंस में होते थे. थोड़े से कम वाले बच्चे कॉमर्स में जाते थे. Then आर्ट्स वाले. Schools में just like section A, B, C, D जो होता है, the A section used to be really, you know, brainy children and, you know, total smart.
The brightest pool there.
The brightest pool and the smart pool there. And उसके बाद कम होता था. So हमारे childhood में मेरा ऐसा ही था कि I will always want to be with the brainy children. You know, that was my thing. Like, you know, अच्छा brainy जिनके साथ रहने से हम भी brainy बन सकते हैं. You know, that kind of time even teachers will focus on them. You know, the brainy parts, the smart part. बेचारे जो थोड़े से कम होते थे, 50% वाले होते थे, उनको ज्यादा ध्यान नहीं देते थे वो लोग. कि अच्छा यार तू बुद्धू है, तू बैठ जाओ, तुम बुद्धू, तुम नहीं बात कर सकते, तुम नहीं बोल सकते, you know, अच्छा तुम बोलो, you know, the little smarty said, हाँ तुम बोलो, आंसर बोलो इसका. So I think that somewhere down the line, you know, it felt like, you know, okay, if I am there with this smarty guys, I will also have the opportunity to learn more, to speak more, you know, all that, those stuff. Now I'm reflecting. I had never thought about this earlier. So this, I think that was, so the options there were either you become an engineer or you become a doctor. So I was focusing on becoming a doctor. So I started preparing for a doctor. I attempted twice. I failed. So third attempt, I said, no, I'm not going to try the third attempt. So I said, let me do a BSc where, you know, I can at least fulfill the eagerness of, like, you know, what actually doctors do, like, you know. So I took up BSc. Then once I took up BSc, I thought, yeah, this is such, and it was very hard. For us, for science students, we were slogging a butt out. We used to have so much bags to carry with ourselves, and morning till night we are standing in the lab doing dissections. And, you know, I said, this is completely unacceptable. Like, you know, those guys are having fun and we are slogging a butt out here. So that college was quite a transitional phase where, you know, we thought it's going to be fun being in a college at that time. But it was a lot of hard work.
I think all that, that's what the movies do to you, right? They show fun part of college life, but in reality, it is totally different.
Totally. I mean, it took us back, like, you know, because we were the first one to enter the college and not a soul in there, not even the canteen never used to open. And we were the last person to get out of the college. सन्नाटा होता था. 4 बजे हम लोग निकलते थे अपने कॉलेज से. हम बेचारे 40 लोग साइंस स्टूडेंट्स बाहर निकलते थे. बाकी सारे बच्चे गायब. 1-2 बजे, 11 बजे आते थे, 2 बजे गायब. What fun! Then I said, like, I mean, that is the part of your learning, like, you know, वो लोग क्या मस्ती करते थे, क्या करते थे पढ़ाई. हर एक कंपटीशन में वो लोग जाते थे. You know, कुछ भी इवेंट हो जाए, वो लोग जाते थे. हम लोग को तो टाइम ही नहीं मिलता था. लैब से छुटकारा मिले तब ना कहीं जाए हम लोग कुछ करें. So it was, first year was really tough for all of us to accept it, like, you know, it's going to be hard work. And second year onwards, it was slowly, it sunk in. no, you have to work hard, you have to do somewhere, go. So BSc was the first thing, we thought I should do. For now, I look at BSc, I said it's a total waste of time I did, कि उसका कोई मतलब नहीं निकला. There is no connection between what you did your graduation with and what you're doing.
True.
It's completely different. There's no correlation.
True.
In that field. So that it was a little sadness that I was not able to carry on with my interest in the science, but I could have done a lot, but it never turned out to be. So my dad taught me in between 2 months holiday. He used to he put me into this institute where we used to learn typing and shorthand. So we went to that institute where घर के पास ही था, तो typing shorthand सीखा. That was the only option available at that time. You don't have, unless you study further, you learn all these things and you get into a government job of LDC, UDC. That was the only option. फिर शादी वादी करो, बस उतना ही था, और ज्यादा कुछ था नहीं हमारे लिए करने को. और because probably we didn't have the guidance to to take it further, what to do. Government jobs भी मिले मेरे को, तो हमने ठुकरा दिया गवर्नमेंट जॉब. हमको नहीं, because I got into Anderson at that time.
Oh yeah.
तो एंडरसन में तो हमारी तनख्वाह इतनी ज्यादा थी उस टाइम पे, तो you don't want to think about government jobs.
Yeah, and I remember that's the time I met you. Like, so I don't know whether I've ever mentioned this, Sudha, but you were, I think, my first inspiration. I was so inspired by you. I remember walking into the office that day, my first day, and I was obviously introduced to you, and I loved the way you carried yourself, the way you were so focused, and you were so pro in your work. I don't think you knew what kind of impression you're giving to a newbie like me, but I was totally impressed. Yeah, I mean, I can never forget my first meeting with you. I don't even know if I remember that or not, but I was totally impressed by
that time you're very young, you're out of college, and you imbibe all these things very fast, and when you like something, you love it. When you love it, you're passionate about it.
Yeah, and it's so true. You said you're out of college. You are actually at a stage where you can really be molded.
And so on. It was fantastic. I think the first job is always where you learn a lot. And if you like it, I think it's nothing better than anything. You must be so good at it.
Okay, so great. That's quite a journey that you shared, Sudha, and absolutely right. Your first job is what teaches you, and I think Anderson has all of us in good stead, right? So tell me, who has inspired you the most, or who's your go-to person now?
I don't have any one person to go to. I don't have one person. But what I can say is, I have worked in the corporate life where I have worked with all the top shots, and yes, I have retained a good relation with all of them. So, and I have learned tiny bits of important things from each of the bosses. Whether it's a chartered accountant. I have worked in various fields like chartered accountant, law firm, hospitality consultants, then the media house. The last one is the media house, where I worked with the owner there, a lady boss who is so tough. I just can't tell you that. And if I have survived with her for 7 years, the Sham Shakti award, whatever you call it. So I have, but when you look back at all these people, there is something which I've learned from each one of them. From basic, the first is from the accountant, from where I started in Anderson. It gives you, it's a backbone for everything. How you work, what are the ways you work, how much, and the procedures, the processes, you learn from there. When I moved into the hospitality structure firm, their boss was very cool, and was very friendly. So that it was exactly opposite to Anderson, where everything is speak karo right away. So here it is like, okay, do it, no hurry, leisurely.
Again, a culture.
Do it. Culture difference, total culture difference, and you are at your pace. So it's friendly, but it's equally professional. So there is a line, a very fine line demarcating your friendly and your professional. So I learned there where you have to stop, where you have to be little, you can be personal, you can't be, you learn that. Anderson is totally professional, but when you party, of course, everything goes off. That's a different story. But here you learned it, where you draw the line being a personal and professional line, where you should do this. Then in the last job I had with a lady boss, I love the way she works. Like, the timing, she works like a precision clock, like, So I admire it, admire so much about it. Each and everything is about timing. If she has to leave at 12:30, she will leave at 12:30. If she has to arrive at here by 12:35, she will arrive at 35. If she is in office if she's going to meet somebody at 1, she will meet that person at 1.
Wow.
And but so she will not make anybody wait for her, and she will not wait for anybody. So that precision of timing, that is something I really admire. I think then she will say, like, in life, we are all here to do certain way. We are born to do certain things, and you should discipline yourself to, demarcate your time. If so, I think that one thing which we all learn, like, we waste so much of amount of time, and she values time, and she always says, value your time, it'll pay. So it's like something which you want to do it. So that I liked about it, the way she carries herself. It's a learning process, is like, all the people I've learned. So now how much I have actually imbibed and got it done, a little bit of everything, not slowly and steadily. I think I have worked on the timing bit a little bit, where I say, okay, so which is a good bit to have it. And think about, like, if you have a goal, try to work towards that. Like, don't be passionate about it, have a target and go for it. Like, so don't like think, okay, you have something goal, but if you don't work on it, you're not going to get it. So slowly and steadily you work towards that, you will achieve the goal. And by that, I remembered once my dad had taken me to his office once when I was a kid, and I saw his office was sprawling, and there are so many people working. I said, I want to be in this kind of work, where I in a very important position, like, where I can. So I think that dream came true. It came true when I worked with the media house, when I was at the top, and I had the whole people under, like, under her and me. And I think that dream, somewhere when I saw it, actually came true here.
In fact,
Was that heck?
in fact, I was about to ask you that if you want to share, or if you could share any life turning moment or anything that has really influenced you. But if this is what you want, yeah, if this was it, then
No, the other, I think the most life turning in the sense of thing is, it's not life turning, as I said, but there is some setbacks. Like when I came out of my marriage, yes, it was, but I'm happy that I took the decision. It was my own decision to do that, and nobody else took it for me. So that is, and I don't regret that. So that's a very positive thing I had. But yes, at that time, taking that decision was very, very difficult, and I'm happy that I took it. Otherwise, I don't know where I would be. So it is very important that, when you have to take a decision without delay, you take it, and you don't regret it. That's the one thing which I make sure, like, if I do something, and if I made up my mind, and I should not regret that decision I made. In my family, in our family, my fathers and mothers, I was the first one to end a marriage. That's one thing. I think that's a turning point where you take a decision where it is difficult to do, very, very difficult decision to come out of something like that. And that too, in our Tambram families and culture, it is, nobody does that. Nobody does that. In fact, even my in-laws side people will say, like, we appreciate your guts, like, you took this decision. I said, it's, I mean, I didn't think it was a gray, I mean, I'm doing something which is path breaking or something. But yes, but situations are like that, when you have to take certain hard decisions. And luckily for me, and God has been kind, I would say, that things have worked out well, and I'm much happier than what I used to be.
So that's absolutely great. It ended well for you. So with that happy note, in typical Kapil Sharma style, let me ask you: did you ever think that you will be sharing your life story on social media, and that also via social media?
No, actually, no. I never thought I will do something like this, and I never imagined. Actually, somebody was mentioning to me, in fact, a few months back, "Hey, why don't you start writing your life story?" I was very curious to know. I said, nobody knows me, so nobody is going to care about.
Honestly, Sudha, when I was also thinking of launching this channel, I also thought, "Kaun mere channel mein aayega?" But then I said,
Yeah,
I don't
correct.
want strangers and the entire world to come there.
Yeah,
But the idea is that every life's journey is actually one could actually
different.
learn something from it. Yes.
It's important, like, that's what we said. In fact, when somebody was mentioning to me, why don't you have so many things so much to write about, now that from where you started to where you are today, and there are so many things you have done. I don't think so even you realize ki what have you done. I said, I'm part of this RWA group in Dwarka. So I joined them about in 10 years ago when I moved to Dwarka. There were a lot of issues in Dwarka, so there was roads were not proper, the buses were not there, the garbage issues were a big thing, and
But
a lot of issues were there. Water, road, drainage, garbage, you name it, and you had problems. So this the traffic scene was at that time was bad. So I joined for some purpose. I found this group good, so I joined them. We started working of improving life in Dwarka. We always quote saying that we want to this is a better place to live in, Dwarka. So we fight for the issues with the agencies, whether we went and met the chief minister also of Delhi, Kejriwal. We had a water issues, major water problems, so we went to the court, fought it. We got the tubes, we got this thing. Then we streamlined the DTC buses thing. Then we sorted the MCD garbage thing. We started asking people to compost it and all that things. So it's a RWA thing which we formed as a group, as a called the Dwarka Forum, and we take up issues with the agencies and different departments. So one of those member in our group, so he gave me a title like that, कि झांसी की रानी है तुम ये तुमको पता ही नहीं है, तुम क्या करती हो, तुमको मालूम है? I said, no, I don't. तुम इतना कुछ काम करती हो, तो इतना कुछ काम करवाती हो, तुमको पता ही नहीं होता. So everybody is like, in Dwarka, if you name, many people know. Generally, they know because we take up issues on all that. So,
okay. Obviously, you've also traveled a lot, right? So, yeah. So, how many countries, how many cities, and which is your
I
favorite?
so I think all of it. I think London is good, and Singapore. I like the Singapore. I like very cute people, neat roads, neat everything, systematic way of. Same thing goes with Dubai. Like, it's very systematic. And no hindrance, and people follow the rules. I like when people follow the rules, and people don't get not like in India where everything goes of chalta hai attitude. There is no chalta hai attitude. So it has to be Singapore and London.
Okay, so when you're happy, what do you do? When it's
I sing, I
wow.
dance.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. The one thing when you're happy, the first thing comes out is a song. It's just like you hum something, and the best part is that in lockdown, when the lockdown happened, I sang quite a bit in Star Maker. So quite a thing. So I'm when happy, I do sing.
You say.
So that's one of the stress buster sort of a thing.
Sure. Any favorite actor or any character that you admire, and why?
I like her in Deepika Padukone in Piku. I think she did beautiful. That Bengali character she essayed with her father
Yeah.
was something which was it's really good, nice one.
Mm.
And of course, the web series sort of a. If you want me, I binged watch Suits.
Mm.
It's one of the best web series. And I couldn't stop myself watching. It's again a corporate law
Yeah.
firm, and how all the drama unfolds
So
within
relatable.
them.
It is very relatable, right?
It's very relatable, and probably I could relate to them. I think that's why I loved it.
Okay, great. So that's a great talking to you, Sudha. But before we close our session for today, I have this small segment called That Oscar Speech. Okay, and in this segment, you can thank all the people who've contributed, who've been part of your journey, the awesome, amazing journey that you have. So yeah, so express away. This is your moment.
Good Lord. I think it's going to be really Oscar. Then I have to thank my dog and my puppies and my cat. And I don't have any of them. so, so I will start with yes. Thankful to the family. Important. Like they've been around and with all the ups and downs. They continue to be, though my parents are not there anymore. But we four of us, brothers and sisters, have been hanging around together and bonding. So we've been a pillar of support to each other. So they have been supporting, and it's been wonderful journey, if you say, so far.
So
And thankful to all the people who have come in, my bosses, wherever I have worked, the good friends I have who have been part of outbursts wherever I used to have a 3 a.m 3 p.m kind of a friend, so I can have a call and talk and tell them. So I have a couple of them who I can call them any point of time. So thanks to them as well to be for being there. And it's been, and all my extended families, my relatives, some of them have been very, very close to me. And thanks to everybody for being literally saving me from everything. And God has been, after all, thanks God for it. First of all, they've been keeping me sane and putting my sanity in place. And I've achieved what I've never imagined that I've achieved so far. But I'm sure there's a lot to be achieved, and I'm sure everybody's going to be around to help me out, and we will work together.
definitely.
And thank you, I think, to importantly, like calling me and doing this session. I've never imagined that I will be doing. So thank you so much for thinking about me and inviting me to do this session. It's
Most
been wonderful.
most welcome. And yeah, I mean, it's been really awesome catching up with you. Yeah, took me back to nostalgia trip of Anderson time. So yeah, great.
True.
Thank you so much. Any last comments that you have before we say our goodbyes?
No, I think you are doing a fantastic job. This is something which is very unique, rather than like doing the normal things like people do, taking things. But this is something YouTube thing is fantastic, and it's very nice to see, like every person's journey is different. Everybody goes through a different set of emotions. Everyone's story is different. It's never the same, and people generally don't talk about it so much. And is one of the outlets you have given. I think you are giving an opportunity to everybody to talk into a virtual world. Whether people react to it or not, it's okay. But it's something which is good. People are talking about it, and you are giving the opportunity. You are being the source, like giving them the opportunity to talk about it. So I think we all need to thank you for doing this. This is fantastic.
Hope you enjoyed this conversation. I had great time talking to Sudha and going down the memory lane. Those were my very early days of work life, and it was so nostalgic to relive that past. Thank you, Sudha. Thank you so much. Do comment in the comment box below if you want to get in touch with Sudha. Do connect with her. Use this opportunity to say hello to her. Concluding today's session with this beautiful quote: Time is like a river. You cannot touch the same water twice because the flow that has passed will never pass again. Enjoy every moment of your life. See you next Sunday to share another life journey. Until then, look up at Sunny Side Up.